I cheat on you. Never would I commit treason, blowing a bag on you.
Welcome to Simple Media. Now this is a segment that I like to call Simple Reviews, where basically I just review a song, a mixtape, an album, or it may even be a music video, and just give my opinions on whatever it is I'm reviewing. Now today's review will be of Young Thug's latest mixtape, or I actually believe it's an album, titled No, My Name is Jeffery.
Hey, whoa, whoa, back that. Look, mama, wait.
Now this album cover for this project is very controversial due to the fact that he is wearing a dress on the album cover. Now I'm not surprised, because one thing I've learned since Young Thug has blown up from a couple of years ago is that he likes to be controversial. Even if you look back to his Barter 6 album cover, where I'm pretty sure he was naked for that, it was very controversial at the time, so I'm not too surprised by this. Now the weird thing about this album is that he is supposedly changing his name from Young Thug to Jeffery after the release of this album, but throughout the entire album he's been referred to as Young Thug, so I'm not too sure if he is actually changing his name to Jeffery or it was just to hype up the project. The album has a total of 10 songs and features a rapper by the name of Gunna. I'm not too sure who that is, I'm sorry. Of course Gucci Mane, everyone knows who that is. Quavo and Offset from the Migos. Young Scooter, Duke, who was also featured on, I believe it's Young Thug's biggest song, titled With That. It features Wyclef Jean and also Travis Scott, so mostly Atlanta artists. I'm not too sure if Gunna and Wyclef Jean are from Atlanta, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure the other artists are from Atlanta. Now the way this review will work is I'll go through the album track by track, talking about key points throughout the songs, and also giving it a rating in terms of lyricism out of 10, and also a rating out of 10 for it being a Young Thug song compared to his other songs. Now the first track on the album is titled Wyclef Jean.
Even if she the bad the motherfucker, man, even if she minus the motherfucker, join in, get the mileage, motherfucker. I ain't gonna disguise it, motherfucker. Nah.
This song has a tropical / island type vibe from it. It is a pretty slow song. He uses his high-pitched voice that he uses in a lot of his songs.
I know some hoes with good ass, fuck a tutor.
And it's not too lyrical, but it's expected from Young Thug. You don't really expect too much lyricism from him, but it is a good song to vibe out to. Now lyrically, I give it a 2 out of 10, and for it being a Young Thug song, I give it a 7 out of 10. Moving on to track 2, it's titled Floyd Mayweather.
I got 6 brand new foreigns on my wrist. I got 6 Forgiatos on my fist.
And it features Gunna and Gucci Mane. This song is also a pretty slow song, not too lyrical, not really a turn-up song. Thugger does start off the track, followed by Gucci Mane, who had a decent verse. Gucci doesn't really sound the same as he does, to be honest. Since his release from prison, he's been sounding pretty different on his tracks. He doesn't sound like he used to be, but I think he's changed for the better. Thugger and Gunna also go back and forth with their final verses for the remainder of the song. The song does have the same feel as Young Thug's With That in terms of the instrumental. Lyrically, I'd give it a 3 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Track 3 is titled Swizz Beatz.
I'm sitting at the top of the nosebleed, and I got my gold off a Goldie. Twerk it, baby, you got the oldie, wait for old me.
This song is another good song to vibe out to, not too fast, nothing really to turn up to. The hook is pretty repetitive, I found. It's also hard to understand at times, but that's expected from Young Thug. Sometimes he mumbles his words. Lyrically, I'd give it a 1 out of 10. In terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Moving right along track 4, this song is called Future Swag.
That finger licking in my palm itch. I'm dead fresh, fuck a palm nigga. I'm on your ass like some thongs nigga.
This is a noticeably faster song. It was produced by 808 Mafia. Now due to the fast tempo of the beat, he does have somewhat of a faster flow throughout the song, but nothing too lyrical. Lyrically, I'd give it a 3 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Track 5 is titled RiRi.
I can tell that you want it, baby. I can tell that you need it. I can tell that you suck at fucking. I can tell you a demon.
Now I love this beat. It's another song that's not too fast. So again, not really a turn-up song. The hook, I must admit, I kinda like, though he does have this weird thing that he does with his voice.
Do the work, baby, do the work. Tonight, baby, do the work, baby, do the work.
Where he kind of sounds like a 13-year-old boy trying to yell while their voice is cracking, and I'd say it's a song more so for his female fan base. His last verse though was okay. It did stand out for me based on his other verses on the actual song. So lyrically I'd give it a 3 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Track 6 is titled Guwap.
I done put 20 inside the sea. I pull up on you and I pop at your key. I pull up your rock and I pop at your beat.
It features Offset, Quavo, and Young Scooter. As with most of the songs on the album so far, nothing really too up-tempo. Thugger starts off with the first verse, and he also is on the hook of the song. Young Scooter has the second verse, and followed by Quavo with the third verse. And of course one of the standout verses was from Quavo, and Offset finished off the song, followed by Young Thug on the hook again. Lyrically I'd give it a 4 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Now track 7. Track 7 is titled Harambee.
I pull up and bust your brothers. I aim at your fucking fam. I aim at your whole clique. I aim at your motherfucking mother.
I really do think this song is gonna be very controversial. Like in terms of lyricism, it's not too lyrical. It has a dope beat, don't get me wrong, but he does sound like he's, I don't know, he sounds like he's constipated, or like he has an itchy throat, or like a piece of chicken stuck in his throat from like 2.5 days ago.
How you wanna help, baby? How you, girl? How you wanna go crazy about you, girl?
I didn't really like the song to start off with, but I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of grow on me a little. Now with Thugger, it's not always about the lyricism, but more so, I guess, him trying something new, and it was something different and something new. I haven't really heard anyone do anything like that on a song before. Lyrically, I'd give this song a 1 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, just because he tried something different and something new. Track 8 is titled Webbie, and it features Duke.
Lil' mama overseas, I might Skype her. Nigga checking out the squad, trying to bite us.
Again, not an up-tempo song, but I must admit I like it. It's something you would expect from Young Thug, and I reckon he always works well with Duke, as we've seen with other previous songs that they've done, like with that,
100 been dropped on the head of any nigga want it, man.
and also For My People.
I put it down for my people, ready to die for my people.
In terms of lyricism, I'd give it a 2 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Track 9 is titled Pop Man.
Bet it all, bet it all. She poured up in a bitch, she nail it all, she nail it all.
And it features Wyclef Jean. This is another slow song, personally one of my favorites on the album, if not my favorite. It has a really cool beat, nothing too lyrical. Wyclef did do a good job on the song, and I reckon they worked together, him and Young Thug. Lyrically, I'd give it a 3 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it a 9 out of 10, because it's really something different, and I actually like the song as well. Moving on to the final track on the album, track 10, titled Pick Up the Phone.
Got screws in my mouth, I'm just prepping it. I'm fucking this cash, I'm like celibate. I'm packing it out like a reverend.
Featuring Quavo and Travis Scott. Now, Travis Scott started off the song and killed it. Travis Scott is one of my favorite artists at the moment, and I try not to be biased at all when I'm reviewing these songs, but he did kill the song. He did a good job. I like his use of autotune, and he killed it, as he always does. The hook was dope. It had Young Thug and Travis Scott all singing along on it.
Never would I cheat on you, never would I commit treason. Blowing a bag on you, you all of that for no reason.
And it sounded good. They work well together on the hook. Thugger had the second verse and did a good job as well. Probably his most lyrical verse on the album, I must admit. Followed by Thugger on the hook, and then Quavo's verse, where he did a great job. Quavo always seems to have one of the standout verses on pretty much every song that he's on, which is why most people think that he would be the most successful artist if the Migos were to ever split. And in the words of the wise DJ Academics, he is the Beyonce of the group. Now, after Quavo's verse, it was the hook and the bridge, which Young Thug and Travis Scott did. Now, I love the beat as well. The beat was pretty good. The beat has like a tropical vibe to it. Now, lyrically, I'd give this song a 5 out of 10, and in terms of a Young Thug song, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. In my opinion, it's one of Young Thug's best songs, even though there's those features in there. In terms of the way the song was put together, I really like it, and it could be a big radio song as well. Now overall for the Jeffery album, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 10 in terms of lyricism. It's really nothing too lyrical, but as I said, you don't really expect too much lyricism from Young Thug. He's more of a melodic type of person rather than lyrical. And in terms of the project overall, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for a Young Thug project compared to his other projects. I think I like this one more than I do Slime Season 1 and 2. Slime Season 3 was actually pretty good. Now the reason why I compare it to other Young Thug projects rather than other artists is because it's not really fair for me to compare this project to, let's say, a Carter 2 or a Carter 3 or a Blueprint by Jay-Z or even a project from Nas, because they're different artists. So I just like to compare it to that particular artist's previous albums or previous projects, or if it's their debut project, I like to compare it to their previous singles as well. And there you have it, guys. My name is Jeffrey with the review. I hope you liked it. Please bear in mind these are just my opinions and what I think of the songs. You may think differently. If you do, please comment down below, let me know. And make sure to check out some of my previous reviews. I've done Tory Lanez's debut album, and I've also done a review of a few other songs if you do want to check them out. As always, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you comment down below. You can follow my social media links. They're all linked down below in the description as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.